Hey guys, you are watching or listening to the Shift Training channel.
Where we talk about personal development, we talk about physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health, and just overall well-being.
And today we'll be talking about the power of gratitude, one of my favorite subjects. So we're going to have a discussion today about the power of gratitude in service of one's life. We're going to talk about the utility of it, and we're going to answer a few questions. So Juan, let's start off.
Start it. Let's begin.
What are your thoughts on gratitude? Like, what's the value of that? What's the power of it? How do you view gratitude?
For me, I believe gratitude is all about opening that door of connection with other individuals. When you have this gratitude attitude or this gratitude state in mind, you open up the conversation in a deeper level. You know that person, you get to know that person at their core.
I think that's true. Yeah, gratitude plays a major role in communication and connection. And I would say I'll go, I guess, more focus on like the utility or like operations out of that. Like, how does that work?
Okay.
So let's do a simple example and then we'll go in more detail. Simple version is, if you're not grateful for the conversation you're having with other people, it shows. If you don't want to be in that conversation with another person, it shows. You know, if your day is filled with a lack of gratitude or lack of appreciation for different things going on in life, it shows. So it's very clear that you're not going to be able to have maybe the best communication and therefore the best connection with other people if it looks like there's no gratitude or appreciation for what's happening anyway. So that's kind of like the short version of it. But in general, gratitude in itself puts you in a state or position to where you're even open to more things. It helps you shift your states in your body. So instead of being on constant defense, you generally, when you feel grateful, you generally tend to be a little bit more open to life, a little bit more open to things. And being in that state where you're open makes you more receptive, and being receptive in communication or conversation allows for greater connection, because if you're not receptive, no, it's just your wall and people are trying to move towards it. They can't. There's no connection because you're closed off.
Yeah, that's true. And all the things that you said, you know, and it also allows, just to add into that, is you become more forgiving, generous, compassionate, and understanding overall.
Right, and who doesn't want to be around that?
Yeah.
You know? So, cool. What about a daily gratitude practice?
The daily gratitude for me, first of all, I think having a journal first thing in the morning and having like a thank you letter. Could be thanking someone from yesterday who just smiled at you. It could be a stranger, you know, simple as that.
Yeah.
And I think I think gratitude is a skill you need to cultivate. For most people, what they think about gratitude is something that positive that happened to them, you know, but there will be individuals or people out there that will unintentionally hurt you in a way, but you can still be grateful for that. But as I mentioned, I think being grateful is a skill. So you start with the positive, and as you get better at practicing gratitude, you move on to the negative, because there's always lesson that you can learn from it.
That's true. And I think even in that's the process of like reframing, learning how to take a negative and form it into a positive, seeing what good can come from it, and being grateful for it. Or sometimes if something feels bad to us, trusting that it doesn't per se mean it's bad. So for example, a connection or relationship with somebody else not really working out, potentially protecting you, helping you, aiding your growth so you can move forward to the next step of what you're really called for in your life.
Right.
So sometimes at the moment, it's hard to see that. I think as you actively practice gratitude, part of that is reframing. Somewhere in there, you're going to learn how to reframe everything as an opportunity or a chance to continue growing, a reason to actually be grateful.
Yeah, and you know, you can respect anybody, but doesn't mean you're gonna give them your love, your attention, your energy, and time with them.
That's very true.
And maybe if someone doesn't like you or anything, you can be grateful and ask them, what can I do to grow?
Right.
Yeah.
Or just be grateful for them giving you a hard time because it makes you better.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. What's next?
Our next question is, how does lack of gratitude harm our well-being?
Ooh. Okay. All right, let's do this one. There's a lot of different ways I could say this, but I think the best way to say, and the best way I'm going to describe it is I'm going to use myself as an example. There was a long season in my life where I could find tons of reasons to not be grateful. And one of my uncles used to call me a negative ninja. If you know anything about me, I'm kind of a ninja. But, a negative ninja, and that was his thing. I would be so precise about finding everything to be negative about and give a hard time about. So it was really a big lack of gratitude or appreciation for my life. And I would say there's some turning points, but as I've gone through my journey, I've learned different things, and gratitude is just like how I operate now. So big change, and it's possible change first off. But what I can say for my well-being is it wasn't helping me. It wasn't serving me to paint everything black. It wasn't serving me to paint everything white. It wasn't serving me to constantly find things or ways to be upset or feel disgusted. Disgust is a sign of a boundary violation, by the way. Focusing on my energy on those things.
Mm-hmm.
All it does is drain your energy, and not in a productive way. It drains your energy by building things that drain your energy. It's like a loop.
Mm-hmm.
So you're focusing on all these negative things, all these reasons to not be grateful. You're building machines that tear down reasons for you to feel excited and want to live. Mm-hmm. It's a very, very bad cycle. So I would say a lack of gratitude, basically, it's just going to put you in a nice little box of negativity, and you're going to build yourself a nice little self-prison. And gratitude is going to be one of the greatest ways for you to really cultivate true reverence and appreciation for life. And that's going to get you excited. That's going to make you feel like, I guess the best way I describe it is, I love life so much that I don't want to waste any of it.
I like that. Yeah. If you have that I feel like for me, lack of gratitude is lack of perspective.
Oof, yeah. Lack of perspective.
Lack of perspective.
Facts.
I feel like if you don't have that gratitude in your life, daily practice, you'll spend your life or your state of mind in that, draining, it consumes your energy, your time. And let's say if someone that you care, or someone that care about you, your relatives, your friends, best friend, whoever it is, your partner, and if they try to give you feedback, you won't allow that feedback to go through you because you don't have that, perspective in you. So you just dismiss it, and instead of you, allowing those feedback for you to get better.
Yeah, I think perspective is a key word. Gary Vee talks about this all the time. It's one of his favorite things to say, perspective, like perspective. And when I really think about it, the time in my life where I was more of a negative ninja and had a lack of gratitude, that's when I was suffering the most internally, suffering being mostly self-induced, right? I'm not talking about pain, difference between pain and suffering, but, self-inflicting stuff and just everything being that way is because I lacked perspective. I couldn't see, hear, or receive beyond my own current perspective. The moment I could is when my perspective began to expand, and that's when I could be more grateful. So I think you hit it right on the head when you said lack of gratitude is a lack of perspective, especially if you live in the U.S. If you live in the United States where we are, you're pretty blessed more than you know, and you just need to travel a little bit to really get it. Or just look up some information, but
and I think a great way to ways to update your relationship with gratitude is your intention. Or now we're talking about the perspective. There are many individuals out there would say, "Oh, I need to go to work." We need to replace that to I get to work.
I get to work.
Or, I gotta eat this food, replace it to I get to eat
this food, you know what I'm saying? Get to eat it.
That's one way to update that, intentional.
Yeah,
Be
the language.
intentional how you speak to yourself and how you say your words out there.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to update your relationship with gratitude. Yeah, the language that we use frames or helps us construct the feelings or emotions or the way that we process our feelings into emotions. So language, major. I think another good way to update your relationship with gratitude is, like we said earlier, a daily gratitude practice. Like when I wake up, I start my day with gratitude. It's literally the first thing I do. I start my day with gratitude because it starts me moving with positive momentum. And from there, I build up. Any day where I don't execute my gratitude practice to the fullest, I don't start with learning anything like that where just I mess up the flow, my whole day is kind of just totally different because my perspective from the jump, I wake up and my perspective is not set properly.
I like that. That's a great habit to make, every morning, and it sets you up to positive growth.
Yeah. Also, I think another way to update your relationship with gratitude is to understand the value or power of it. Like right now, we are sharing this information to kind of educate you and to kind of see if you relate or understand. But in reality, gratitude is one of those things where it's like we can tell you all day, but it's the kind of thing where I could say from my own experience, I could easily promise, but it won't mean anything to you. But I could easily promise you that gratitude feels better than a lack of gratitude. And it does make every single day better, period.
Yeah.
And I can attest to having lots of experience without and plenty of experience with. So that's just my 2 cents on it. But the only way you're going to know is if you try. So I think another way to alter that is for you to actually try to better understand gratitude and try to find more opportunities to be grateful in your life every day.
I like that. And just going back again, I think it's important that gratitude is not just all about positive things. It's also looking at the negative because, as we mentioned earlier, there's always going to be a lesson for you, and it's a perspective change.
That's right. So I think that I'm done on gratitude. I love gratitude. I can talk about gratitude all day, by the way. I think it's silly to not be grateful. Like I said, I did it for a long time in my life. I would slap myself across the back of the head if I could back then. I'd be like, no, dummy, here you go, have some more gratitude because now I better understand it. But I think I'm done.
Yeah, okay, so I mean, I guess one more, that gratitude is not just a noun, it's a verb, it's a doing. It's part of you doing something with gratitude.
All right, 100%.
And that's it.
Cool. Where can I find us, Juan?
Please follow us at our social media. You can find us at any social media platform, Shift on Your Life.
All right, guys. With that, we hope that you'll find something to be grateful for today, and we hope that you have an amazing day. Peace.